Okay, so question 3, it says the figure below shows the electronic structure of an oxygen atom and a calcium atom. So I'm just going to underline those because it's telling me that these are the atoms. This time it's slightly harder than the last ones that we've done because it doesn't show you what the ions look like, but it does show you what the atoms look like, what we started with. So let's have a little look at them. Before we move on, I just want to see what I can see. So I can look at this oxygen atom. I've got 2 electrons on the first shell. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons on the outer shell. So my electron configuration for that is 2, 6. It's not a full shell. To get a full shell, I'm going to have to add 2 electrons to that oxygen atom. Calcium, I can see I've got 2 electrons on the first shell. I've got 8 electrons on the second shell, 8 electrons on the third shell, finishing with 2 electrons on the fourth shell. So I've got 2, 8, 8, 2. Obviously, it's not mentioned what kind of bonding it is. The fact that it says ion is a clue, but the fact that it's a non-metal, so if you look on your periodic table, you can see that oxygen is a non-metal and calcium is a metal. So I know really that it's ionic bonding. So I'm going to start thinking about ionic bonding. I think my daughter's coming into the room. I do apologise if she comes in. I'm just doing a little video for school. Can you come back with the ice cream van in 2 minutes? Thank you, darling. So I'll be thinking about ionic bonding. I'll be thinking about electrostatic forces. And electron transfer. Okay. It says, describe how the calcium atom and the oxygen atom forms calcium oxide. So if we can see here, we've got 2 electrons in the outer shell of a calcium atom, which it's going to want to lose. And we've got 6 electrons in the outer shell of the oxygen atom, which it needs to gain 2. So it seems like it's going to be fairly straightforward. So I'm going to start, as I always do, with my 4 bullet points, because it's 4 marks, and we'll go from there. I'm going to start with the metal, because metals always lose their outer shell electrons to form positive ions. So calcium, because it's in group 2, it's got 2 electrons on its outer shell, it's going to lose 2 electrons. So calcium loses 2 electrons from its outer shell. If it loses 2 electrons, it's going to become a 2 positive because it's got 2 more protons than it has got electrons. So again, look back at that first video if you're unsure about what I mean from that. So calcium loses 2 electrons from its outer shell to form a 2 positive ion. And then I'm going to write 2 electrons are transferred, so using that word transferred to the oxygen atom. Oxygen gains 2 electrons to become 2 negative ion. And then we've got opposite, charged ions attract each other with strong electrostatic forces. If you can hear my son in the background as well, he's on FIFA, so that's why he's going, you know, he's getting excited if his team scores on FIFA. So sorry about that. Okay. So that's the end of that question. So we've got the 4 points. Calcium loses 2 electrons to form 2 positive ion. 2 electrons are transferred to the oxygen atom from the calcium atom. Oxygen gains 2 electrons to become a 2 negative ion. Oppositely charged ions attract each other with a strong electrostatic force. If you feel confident now to go and finish the last question on your own, by all means do so. Otherwise, watch the last video.